In this video, I'm going to share with you what is innovation and the key points to remember. So first of all, innovation is a new product, and we talked earlier in another video about, product that is 10 times better, 10 times cheaper, and 10 times, faster than any other existing, or safer, 10 times safer than any other product that exists to date. An example, and we talked about it in prior slides too, is Hyperloop. And I know I talk a lot about Hyperloop. I'm kind of a bit of a fan of this new disruptive technology, and I've been following the team and Dirk, since the early beginnings. But Hyperloop would be, a big innovation, a disruptive innovation for the whole transportation industry. It could also be a business model, right? A way of how we bring customers and sell them a service like Uber, right? So they disrupted the traditional, cab service, where you go on the road, you put your hand up and the cab stops, and sometimes there's a cab, sometimes there's no cab, or you have to phone a number. With Uber, you have it on your phone, it geolocalizes you. You click, I need an Uber right now, and they find you, and they take you where you need to go, and they take care of all the payments, so it's easy, fast, which is really, something important in today's, innovation and technology. It has to be easy to use, and fast. So like Uber, Lyft, do this in the transportation industry. Innovation can also be a brand. It's the atmosphere, the experience that you provide to your customers. Starbucks coffee, they do great coffee. Don't get me wrong. I don't drink coffee, but they do great drinks. But it's not necessarily the best coffee that you will find in the world. But what customers like at Starbucks coffee is not just the coffee, right? It's the whole brand and the whole experience, right? The locations, the stores are really nice, comfortable, cozy. People can work there, and plug on the Wi-Fi, and there's music, and so the whole brand they created was key to success for Starbucks. Plus, the quality, of course, of their coffee. It can be a culture. Innovation can be a culture. I find that Facebook, for instance, is a very innovative culture, where Mark Zuckerberg does an amazing job leading his team and inspiring them, giving them the purpose, the mission, and empowering them to basically drive themselves innovation and being okay with failure to a certain extent, which is important for innovation. And we're going to cover this in other slides too, the concept of failure. It's also, innovation can also be breakthrough. So here you have the Google lenses, which will be charged through a solar energy, and you'll put it in your eye, basically for diabetes, people with diabetes. So you put it in your eye, and then it's going to auto charge. It's going to send information to, let's say, a smartwatch just like this, who's basically checking, and then it's going to detect if you have enough sugar in your still in your blood, and if you don't, it's going to alert you, hey, you have a problem, or on your mobile phone, it's going to alert you, hey, you need to take a shot of insulin, right? You could even imagine that the shot of insulin is directly in the patient's smartware, right, where it gets injected when there's a problem. So this lens is pretty breakthrough for the whole health industry, which is also interesting, to see players like Google jump into the health industry. Innovation can also be reapplied. So you don't necessarily need to reinvent the wheel, or you need to invent something new. Take something that works in a country and apply it in your country, right? Or like Amazon and Alibaba, it's similar business models. And one is in the US and now global, and the other one, Jack Ma went and implemented it in China, and it's been a success, great success. So it can be an improvement. So in this particular case, the image you see here is Nibia. So it's a shower that's, the founders and the inventors are saying, it saves, I think, 70% of the water. And saving water is really important, especially in California, where there's the drought. So this company got backed by millions of dollars. Investors believed in that idea because it was at the right time, right moment, with a drought and solving a big problem. and saving a lot of water, right? 70%, that's a big, saving opportunity on water, which is, becoming more scarce. Then innovation can also be science fiction. So in the entertainment world, movie producers or script writers, imagine the future. It can be authors too. They imagine the future, but there's a really always a really small, a small difference between, fiction and reality. When you think about it, think about the movie The Fifth Element, where you see the flying cars, so right now flying cars actually exist, right? The drones, and we're building, drones for people. So it's not exactly yet the cars that we see, in The Fifth Element, but flying cars, we're talking about it right now. And the movie, came out, I think, in the early 2000s. Or, if you know the show Futurama, so can you see the tube right here? And I'm going to talk again, about Hyperloop. But, they imagined a tube that transports people. Well, right now a team is working on this, to make something similar happen. So there's always a thin line between science fiction, and reality and innovation, and one leads to the other. I think Einstein said, if you can think it or imagine it, it's already real. So basically, innovation is not just the product. To conclude, it's the product, it's the business model, the brand, the culture of your company, your people, your teams. It can be breakthrough innovation, it can be reapplied innovation, it can be improvement innovation, or it can be simply science fiction, where you look at the future and you ideate to see what's going to be there in 100 years from now.